Just a quick revision. If there is a magnetic field which is inside the board and you have a loop which is basically perpendicular, this loop is perpendicular. That means DL is perpendicular. DL means at every point of this loop in the direction of the current. Okay. Of course, we'll right now assign the direction of the current I, and then we will assign the length vector. So in that case, students, every length vector which I am drawing here right now is at pi by 2 angle with respect to the magnetic field. And in that case, students, DL is basically perpendicular to the magnetic field. And in that case, we know that what we know that the force on the loop, first of all, force on the loop is going to be equal to 0. Why? Because they're all cancelling off each other. Every force, okay, is having equal length, okay, because of the, you can see the square, it's a square, so all are having equal length. Force also will have the same magnitude, okay, all the four forces around this loop will have the same magnitude, and of course they are opposite in direction, so force on the loop is 0. Second thing is that the magnetic field, okay, sorry, the torque, okay, the torque also will be equal to 0. A reason it is 0 is because this loop is basically perpendicular with respect to the magnetic field. It is perpendicular with respect to magnetic field. This was case number 1. Okay, case number 2 was simple. Case number 2, I told you that if there is a magnetic field like this, right, and this time our loop is having some angle theta, okay, our loop is having some angle theta. In that case, the force developed over here and the force developed on this side of the loop is going to generate some torque. Okay, torque is basically, what is the formula of torque, students? Do you all remember what we had got? What we got? I A cross B. Yes or no? I A cross B. Do you remember? How do we, how, okay, if you don't remember, no problem. See, it is just simple. You know, torque is what? Force into perpendicular displacement. Forces over here are like this, and the perpendicular distance is, of course, if this is L, the perpendicular distance will be L by 2 sine theta, as we had done yesterday. Okay, if you substitute that value in force into displacement, okay, if you substitute that value, okay, in force into displacement, force is what? ILB, what we had got? ILB, and displacement was what? Displacement was, of course, perpendicular distance, right? L by 2 sine theta. So in that case, there are two forces, students. So we'll put 2 over here, and this 2 gets cancelled. We get I L square B sine theta. Now this was not by heart for me. This was not by heart for me. Basically, I just know that torque is basically force into perpendicular displacement. So that helps me out to understand and to derive this expression so easily. I know L square is A, so I can just write that torque is basically equal to I A B sine theta, and of course B sine theta can be written as I A cross B. That's it. That's as easy as it gets. In case you forget, you always know. So this was case number 2. Yes or no, students? This is all clear with you? All of this? Can we proceed further? There is absolutely no response.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So area vector, I told you, area vector. When we come to area vector, students, area vector. Okay, I told you that if there is a loop, like this, and this loop is having some direction like this, okay, then in that case, students, okay, it is having some current like this in this anti-clockwise direction, then simply to find out the area vector of a loop, take your right hand and curl your fingers around the current direction. Curl your fingers around the current direction in this, so for this case, my area vector is coming outwards. My area vector comes outwards. Okay, similarly, if I take it clockwise, if I take this current to be clockwise, my current direction will come inwards. Now, why are we focusing so much on this right hand thumb rule? Because many a times we make silly mistakes, and that should not happen. We're trying to clear that up. We're trying. So let's proceed with the behavior of the torque. Let's proceed with the behavior of the torque. Suppose the magnetic field, students, is now not inside in x-axis direction, and of course I'm taking it to be uniform. Okay, which is not the case in practicality. So for now, let's consider that the magnetic field is in x-axis direction. Okay, and my initial, okay, my initial, let's say my initial position was somewhat like this. Okay, my initial position was somewhat like this. Basically, it is case number 1, students here. Okay, where magnetic field and the loop, okay, and the loop is basically perpendicular to each other. It's like this. Okay, I just, this is the thing. I have to show it in 3 dimensions, but just understand that it is perpendicular. It is perpendicular. Magnetic field and the loop is basically perpendicular. Okay, but now let's say that I twist, I use an external force, students, that is me, myself. I somehow try to push that loop oh, it's not going to be clear, is it? I'm going to push it, it's clear, I think, with a certain angle theta. Okay, I pushed it with a certain angle theta, and this time I push it where? I push it like this. See, so the angle basically is like this. This is theta. Okay, so I have taken this and I've twisted it like this. I've taken this initial position, twisted it like this. So if I pushed it from this initial position to the final position, okay, where my blue color is basically my final position, in that case, torque will act in what direction? Will it act in the direction of the loop I am pushing, or in the direction opposite to the loop I am pushing? So for that to know, for you to know that, for you to ask or reason out that, okay, first you have to ask me, sir, what is the direction of the current? Uh, you have not assigned the direction of the current, so we cannot tell you in what direction will be the force, in what direction will be the torque. Okay, so let's understand. Let's say that the torque is basically clockwise in nature. Let's say torque is like this. It's going like, sorry, anti-clockwise. Okay, torque I in the loop, in this blue color loop, is like this. Okay, so in that case, where is my area vector going to come? Is it going to come? How do I decide the area vector? Will it go inside the board, outside the board? Students, can you respond? What will be my area vector? Outside, inside, where?
Outside.
Outside, yeah. So because the current in this final position, the blue color, the loop which I've drawn in blue color is after I have pushed the initial position of the loop. And I know the direction of the current is anti-clockwise, students. So I simply use my right hand, curl it around the current. Curl it around the current. In that case, my area vector comes outside. So drawing it 3-dimensionally, I can say that my area vector, students, area vector, okay, is somewhat outside. This is my area vector. It is coming out. Okay. But students, my magnetic field is where? My magnetic field is in x-axis direction. Yes or no? So can you see that there is an angle between area vector and magnetic field? Can you see? There is an angle between the area vector and the magnetic field. We know that torque is basically what? I A cross B. Or in other words, okay, this is the formula. But what will be the direction of torque? Always remember, torque will always have a direction which is parallel to the A cross B, which is parallel to the direction A cross B. What it means is, in other words, I'm saying that when you move from A to B, torque also will be in that same direction. Okay, torque will also be in the same direction. So students, I have taken this loop. Like this, which was like this. I pushed it like this. Okay, wait 1 minute. Okay, yeah, I have taken this loop and I pushed it like this. So will the torque go backwards or will the torque move it forward? Will the torque move it backwards or forward? Can you give me a response?
So forward.
It will move forward, students. Look here, because area vector is here, magnetic field is here. A to B is the direction. Always remember, torque is IA cross B from A to B. So the torque also will move from A to B. It will move from A to B, students. But but students, I pushed this loop where I pushed it backwards. I pushed it backwards. I pushed it like this. So can you see that torque is basically opposing my external force? Torque here is basically opposing my external force. So see the behavior of it. This is where I want you to understand the behavior of the torque. Okay. Here what I did, I took an initial. Okay, I'm just going to repeat. The initial position of the loop is basically this black color loop. Okay, it was there. Basically, this is case number one. Case number one is where theta is equal to pi by 2. And of course, the area vector of this black color loop is parallel to the magnetic field. I will draw it like this. Okay, it's parallel to the magnetic field initially. So when my area vector and my magnetic field basically are parallel to each other, then the angle between them is what, students? Angle between the area vector and magnetic field becomes what? 0. And sine 0 is 0. So IA cross B, if you open it up, it will be IAB sine theta. And in that case, sine theta is sine 0. And so torque will be 0. This is the first case which we learned yesterday, right? Now what I did, I took this same thing, I pushed it in this direction. I pushed it in this direction. Okay. Is it? Yeah, I pushed it in clockwise direction. That is from the black loop to the blue loop. We came to the blue loop now. Okay, it is making some certain angle theta over. You can see that. Okay, you can see that. And the direction, of course, is like this. I have pushed it in this direction, right? But now what is happening is the area vector happens to be coming out of the board. Okay, for the blue loop specifically, my area vector, how did I assign the area vector? I took my hand, I rotated it around the current in the direction of the current, and that got me the area vector. Okay, three-dimensionally, this area vector is coming towards you. Magnetic field is towards the x-axis. And so I try to calculate the direction of the torque. I know the direction of the torque will always be from A to B. So right now I can see area vector is here, magnetic field is here. So I know the torque will go from A to B. So this basically this entire loop here, this entire loop with respect to the torque is going to go like this. Torque will push it like this. Okay, initial position like this, right? I pushed it backwards, but torque will push it front. Torque will push it front. Pushing it front, but my external force was clockwise. Torque is anti-clockwise. This is basically the behavior, or I can say this is basically the combination of two cases which we done yesterday, case 1 and case 2. Is this understood, students? All of you all understood? So what we have learned here? What we learned here? We basically learned, okay, that if you shift it by an external angle, okay. Now it depends, okay. If this current was what? If this current was in anti-clockwise instead of the if it was in the other direction, clockwise, area vector would have been inside the board, and so in that case, my torque would have been in the direction of the angle in which I pushed it itself. Okay, that is common sense. But right now, my current direction is basically anti-clockwise. Area vector comes out of the board, and so area vector makes an angle B with the magnetic field, and it is opposing the direction of the torque. That's as easy as it is. So let's understand. Once we have understood this, let's understand something called magnetic movement, students. Let's see what magnetic movement is. Okay, till now we understood torque, we understood force. Okay, fine, magnetic force, everything. But let's see what is going to be magnetic moment. So the next topic is magnetic moment. Magnetic moment. So students, here torque is basically what? Torque is IA cross B. Okay, IA cross B, right? But here the catch is, okay, let's make this expression more simple and in terms of magnetic moment. Okay, so this combination of I and A, the combination of current and area vector, students, combination of current and area vector. Area vector, why? Because area is having some certain direction here. As of this, you can see the direction of the area vector here, right? So the combination of current, which is basically a scalar quantity, okay, into the combination of this area vector gives rise to magnetic moment, and this magnetic moment is basically defined by capital M, okay, capital M of course with a vector sign. So this is called magnetic moment. You can write that IA. Okay, please don't forget to mention the vector sign is basically equal to magnetic moment. Okay, magnetic moment is a combination of the current and the area vector. So how do we basically define the direction of magnetic moment? If it is a direction, of course, how will we define it? That is the question. So let's say that there is a loop, students. There is a loop here. It's all easy. Okay, all of this is very easy. And again, I'm taking the direction of the current to be anti-clockwise, students. Let me take it anti-clockwise. In that case, students, if this is I, area vector is where? Area vector comes outside the board. Take your fingers, curl it around the direction of the current in the loop, and you can see that the area vector here is outside. It is outside. So, of course, my magnetic movement will also be in the direction, okay, in the direction of the area vector. My magnetic movement will also be in the direction. Now, instead of concentrating on area and instead of expressing the expression of torque in terms of area vector and magnetic field, we will express it in terms of magnetic moment, and we will express it in terms of magnetic moment and magnetic field. So basically, torque now can also be defined as M vector cross B vector. M vector cross B vector, where M is basically a combination or a multiplication of constant current and the area vector of the loop. Okay, so let's try to find out the directions for different types of shapes. Let's try to find out the direction for different types of shapes. I will require you to unmute yourselves so that I can hear some of your responses. This is going to be a little bit lame, but this will help you out. Okay, this is going to help you out. So if my direction is like this, students, then in that case, can you tell me where is going to be the magnetic movement? Will it be outside or inside the board? Magnetic movement, direction of magnetic movement. Yes, what was the answer?
Inside.
Inside.
It's going to be
Inside.
yeah. So of course you took your right hand, you curled it around, and you know the thumb is going inside. So magnetic moment, students, M is going to be inside. Of course, it's denoted by capital M. Sometimes I make a mistake of making it a small m. So suppose if it was a circle like this, and I say that my current is now in this direction. In that case, where is my magnetic moment, students? Outside or inside the board? Outside or inside the board? It's going to be again inside the board. It's going to be inside. Okay. And now for an arbitrary shaped loop, if I say my current is like this, students, then where is it going to be? Where is it
Outside.
going to be? Inside again?
Inside.
So for any type of shape, students, doesn't matter. Yes, correct, students, correct. So it doesn't matter which type of shape you take, okay? Because ultimately now instead of finding the area vector and the current, we are just trying to find out the direction of magnetic moment here. And for any shape, the magnetic moment simply depends on the direction of the current, provided the current is constant and it is in a loop. Provided the current is constant and of course it is in a loop. Okay, so let's do some students. Let's understand the behavior. Okay, when I say some people already get a headache. So don't worry. Yeah, it's going to be easy now. It's going to be very easy. Say suppose the question is you can write it down. A circular coil. Okay, you can write it down later when I give you the recording. A circular coil. Now write down only the important parts. A circular coil 1 by root pi meters. What I said? A circular coil 1 by root pi meters in radius. Okay, lies in a horizontal plane. Okay, so lies in a horizontal plane. It carries a current of 5 amperes in a counterclockwise direction when viewed from above. Okay, fine. The coil is in a uniform magnetic field. It is directed towards the right with magnitude 2 Tesla. Find the torque of the coil. Okay, simply, I will repeat the question again. A circular coil has a radius of 1 by root pi meters. It lies in a horizontal plane. It carries a current of 5 amperes. The direction of the current is basically counterclockwise or anti-clockwise direction. when viewed from above. That is also important. Your perspective comes into the picture. The coil is in a uniform magnetic field. It is directed towards the right side. So that means it is x-axis. Okay, with magnitude 2 Tesla. Find the torque in the coil. So let me write down the given, right? Okay. So radius was given to us as 1 by root pi meters. 1 by root pi meters. Second thing which was given to us is basically that this coil, it is a circular coil. It lies in the horizontal axis, horizontal plane. So first let's draw x, y, and z axis. So this is x, y, and this is going to be z axis. So basically, my coil is basically somewhere here. Okay, perspective matters, students. It is in this plane. Okay, this is x, this is of course y, and this is z, students. Third thing he said is that the current has a magnitude of 5 amperes and it is counterclockwise. Counterclockwise means if this is clockwise, this becomes counterclockwise. So this is something like counterclockwise direction. Fine, no problem. Okay. Fourth thing it says is the coil is in a uniform magnetic field which is directed towards the right hand side. Which is directed towards the right hand side. So here you can say that magnetic field is along x-axis. Yes or no, students? It is along the x-axis. Okay. And now they are saying that the magnetic field is basically 2 Tesla. Okay. So they are asking you, where is the torque? How much is the magnitude of the torque? And second thing they're asking you is the direction of the torque. So
Sir, is the magnitude 10 by pi?
10 by pi? No, it is not 10 by pi. It is 10. So we'll come to that. Okay. So listen to me, students. In case you want to find out the direction, the first thing I told you is look in the loop. Okay, the loop does it have a current? Yes. Okay, write it down. Whenever I'm telling you, whenever I'm dictating the question to you, write down the important parts like this. Okay, write down important parts like this so that you don't need to again look at the question at all. Now listen to me. Here you can see that the torque is basically in which direction? The current is in which direction? Anti-clockwise direction. So we know that it is an anti-clockwise direction. So students, first find out what is going to be the area vector. Where is the area vector for this? Upwards or downwards? Where will it be, students? Upwards or downwards? Okay. So I hope you all have got it. Okay. Yes. So it is an anti-clockwise direction. Okay. So you're getting it upwards. So I can say that my area vector, students, is going to be upwards like this, somewhat like this. So already now you can see something. You can already see where the torque will be. Okay. You can already see it. That's it. That's the only thing. You can see area vector here. You can see magnetic field here. So now tell me in what direction, students, in what direction will this loop basically rotate? Will it rotate? How will it rotate? How will it rotate? Can I say that, see, I know the formula of torque. Torque is what? A cross B. A cross B. But direction of torque is basically what? Direction of torque is basically parallel to A cross B.
A cross.
Yeah. So you can see that if my area vector is here and magnetic field is here, then my area vector to the magnetic field, if area vector goes towards the magnetic field, students, then my coil also will go in that direction only. My coil also will rotate like this and this will come down like this. Is that clear? Okay, my coil will basically move like that. Can you see that? Can you understand what I'm saying? Okay, so the coil will also, because the area vector is here, magnetic field is here, the area vector A cross B will also move this coil and it will take it upwards. This point will come upwards, this point will come downwards. That's as easy as it gets. So now you know the direction of the torque. Now you find out the magnitude of the torque, which is very easy. Torque is basically what? Tell me. Torque is basically equal to IA cross B. And what is I here? I is given as 5 amperes. So substitute that. Area vector is what, students? Area vector is what? Tell me. What is the magnitude of area vector here?
Pi
Area of
r
the coil.
square.
Yes, area of the coil. Area vector is basically area of the coil. So you know it is pi r square. But what is r here? 1 by root pi. Substitute that. 1 by root pi. And magnetic field, of course, is what? 2t. Okay, I will write down. Wait. Okay, so torque is going to be equal to 5 into, okay, this Ia will become what? Ia b sine theta, yes or no? Ia b sine theta.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
so 5 into area vector, which is pi r square 1 by root pi whole square into b. What is b given to us? What is b given to us? 2 Tesla. So substitute 2 Tesla. And what is theta? Students, what is theta here?
Pi
Theta
by
here.
2.
Yeah. Theta between A and B is going to be pi by 2. Sin pi by 2 is what? 1. So I don't need to consider that. So what is it going to be? 5 into pi upon pi. Because 1 by root pi whole square will be 1 by pi. Pi and pi gets cancelled. 5 into 2, you're going to get 10. 10 what, students? 10 what? Torque is always measured in what? Torque is always measured in Newton per Newton meters. Okay? Torque is always measured in Newton meters. So please keep that in mind. Newton meters. This should be an important point here. So the torque is going to be 10 Newton meters. What is the direction of the torque, students? See, now this is the catch, students. We got this. We got the answer. Okay. So I hope you all have understood this. But some important facts here. Okay. Some important facts. Look here. I said that here is where people get confused. Huh? So I don't want you all to get confused. Just pay attention. Pay attention. See. Okay. Some students will tell me that the area vector is upwards and the magnetic field, students, is basically like this. So of course you will use it. Till now we were studying right hand rule. So A to B, when you move A to B, your thumb is pointing inside. And students, that is the direction of the torque. The direction of the torque is inside the plane. Inside the plane. What that means is basically the axis of the torque is inside the plane. Did you understand that? This is the direction of the torque, students. It is inside the plane. Okay, direction of the torque is inside the plane. You have to apply A cross B. A to B, right hand thumb rule. A, take your fingers, curl it from A to B. Your thumb will point inside. Your thumb will point inside. So that is the direction of the torque. Then you will say, sir, then this coil should be moving like this. No, it should be moving like this. No. Basically, the direction of the torque is actually telling you the axis on which the coil will rotate. The axis on which the coil will rotate. So this becomes the axis here. If this is the axis, students, the torque, the force, okay, the rotation will happen in this direction. Is that understood? Clear, everyone? Is that clear? Is there any doubt here?
Sir, can you explain once again, please?
Yeah. See, when you say that torque is basically Ia cross B. Okay. Torque is equal to Ia cross B. What it means? How can we find out the direction? It's a cross product. So you can use your right hand rule. That is clear. You can use your right hand rule. Right hand rule between what? A and B. So here, you know, A is in what axis? Y axis. A is in what axis? Y axis. Magnetic field is in what axis? X axis. So from A to B, if you are applying your right hand rule, from A to B, if you are applying your right hand rule, your thumb is pointing in which direction, students? Inside the plane. Is that clear? Is that clear? So my torque also will be inside the plane. My torque also will be, the direction of the torque, students, is inside the plane. So students will tell me that if the coil was supposed to be like this is my coil, and the torque is inside the plane, then it should move like this. Why is it moving like this? Why is it moving like that? Are you getting my point? Okay, if the torque is inside the plane, the loop also should rotate like this. No, it is not that. Okay, what I'm saying is, if the torque is inside the plane, the torque is basically telling you the direction of the axis. Direction of the axis of what? This loop. At which point, at which the loop will rotate. The axis of the torque will actually define, or you can say the torque is what? Force into perpendicular distance. Yes or no? Force into perpendicular distance. So the direction of this force is basically inside. Perpendicular distance will be here. So this coil will rotate like this. this coil will rotate like this around this axis. Around this axis. If this is not clear, don't worry, it will get clear in the next question, in some other question. Okay, don't worry. Let's look. How many minutes we got? 6 minutes. So let's see another problem, students. Here the question is, a uniform constant magnetic field is there. Okay, it is directed at an angle of 45 degrees to the x-axis. Okay, in the xy plane. Again, I'm repeating. A uniform constant magnetic field is directed at an angle 45 degrees to the x-axis in the xy plane. ABCD is a rigid square wire frame. Okay, it's a loop. Is carrying a steady current I. Then what is the torque acting on the frame due to the magnetic field? So they are saying that there is now, this time, the loop is not tilted, students. This time they're saying that the magnetic field is at 45 degrees. Is at 45 degrees with respect to x-axis. Okay, this is going to be my magnetic field. And then they're saying, after that they say, there's a square loop in that. Let's say this is A, this is B, C and D. And the direction is basically anti-clockwise. Then what is the torque acting on the frame due to the magnetic field? Okay, what is the torque? So what will be my approach, students? Can you tell me? What can be my approach? Can I, let's try to solve this in vector form. Let's try to solve this in vector form. How can I represent this magnetic field in vector form? Can I say magnetic field is basically what? I plus j cap upon root 2. Can I say? Yes or no? No? Can I say this is I cap plus j cap by root 2? Yes or no? So in that case, if my magnetic field is like this and my area vector will be how? Can you tell me what will be the area vector? In which direction, students?
Side.
Which direction? It will be outside, right? It will be outside, no? Okay, it will be outside. So it will be somewhat like this. So in this case, you can see A to B will give me a force upwards. Okay, will give me a force upwards. I know it is a little bit difficult, but bear with me, you will understand. Magnetic field for 45 degrees in vector form can be represented as I cap plus j cap by root 2. Area vector here can also be represented as what? Area is what? Basically L square into k cap, because it is coming out, area vector is coming out. Okay, let's take this for L. Let's take this length to be L. In that case, area vector can be represented as area into the direction k cap. Outside, it's coming outside. So now I know these two things. That's all you have to find out. That's all you have to find out. Now just substitute it in the torque equation. IA cross B. What will you get, students? Tell me what will you get. First solve this. It will be I, and then what is the magnetic field? Okay, can I say I? What is the area vector? L square k cap cross product I cap plus j cap by root 2. Yes or no? So if we solve this, what we will get? Students, try to solve it fast. What will we get? Can I say it will be I can take what can I say? What can I say? I can take L square out. Yes or no? I will have k cap cross I cap plus j cap. K into I cap will give me what, students? K cap into I cap gives me what? So I cap, j cap and k cap. Yes or no? K cap into I cap will give me j cap.
J cap.
Yeah. So Okay, it will give me j cap.
Sir, B will also
And-
be there, no?
Yes, B will also be there. Yes, sorry. So in that case, students, okay. Next is k cap into j cap will give me what? K cap into j cap will give me what? I cap or minus I cap?
Minus I cap.
So it will give me minus I cap. So students, this is basically torque in vector form. This is basically torque in vector form. It is just DIL square by root 2 j cap minus I cap.